Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm making a different live stream than my usual one because I've done live streams now and vlogs, primarily video blogs, going all the way back to 2005. And then it was a different story. I discovered vlogging and vlogs before that and videos because I was turned on to something called Blip TV, and I started making video blogs then. I didn't know I knew vlogging was the term, and I was on this what we used to call listserv called vloggers, vloggings, and vloggers. It was on Yahoo, and it attracted a good set of really interesting people that were figuring out different ways to use this cool what one would call video over IP. And back then, make no mistake about it, it was clunky. It took a long time to upload just a 1 minute file, a video file, and when you did, it came out blurry. The neat thing about Blip TV was that Blip was using something called an H.264 codec, and that really produced a clear video result. But just behind Blip TV was something called YouTube, and YouTube really took off because YouTube's design, its page design, was such that it facilitated interaction between one video maker and the other. And so YouTube grew because the videos consisted of these interesting exchanges. One person make a video to address what somebody else said. And back then, you could literally stack a video. So if someone put up a video, you could take your video and put it in the comment section, and you have this trail, right? It was really neat, the initial design of YouTube, and that's really what caused it to grow. On top of all that, YouTube had a a system where you could just see what your views were going to be and where they were coming from. It wasn't the data gathering wasn't anywhere near as robust as it is today, of course. Remember, this is the start of everything. But it was quite clear that something was going on. And then I thought, well, at the time I just started sports business simulations, and I thought, okay, how can I innovate in this space? And not only that, the NFL had allowed me to cover the NFL draft. So I thought, I'll bring technology to the NFL draft. And as I was searching around for what was what I could use in blogging, which was then bringing traffic to our then new company, Sports Business Simulations, I discovered a very nascent social media site called Twitter. And I'd also joined another site called the iReport. Well, by the time all that was coming together in 2006, I went to tell Elihu Harris, who was my friend, former boss when he was mayor of Oakland, and then he was the chancellor for the Peralta Community College District, but also on my advisory board for Sports Business Simulations, my first startup. So I was sharing with him the exciting possibilities of Blip TV and YouTube, and he pressed a button and introduced me to this gentleman by the name of Jeffrey Heyman. And Jeffrey Heyman said, "Wait a minute, what are you doing this weekend, or actually the weekend after?" And I said, "I don't know." He says, "Well, there's something called VloggerCon." And I thought, wow. He says, "Would you like to come? You can help us man our desk." I said, "Great." So I met a guy named Josh Wolf and his coworker and went to VloggerCon. And VloggerCon changed my life. It was absolutely incredible. And so I started making more vlogs, generally of a political variety and commentary on the presidential campaign, and focusing on such people as John Edwards and President Obama and so on, getting a lot of views too at the time, and also vlogging about current events of the day, and in addition to my blog. And so then I got a email, this going into 2007, from a guy named Steve Grove. Never heard of Steve Grove. He was the editor of the news and politics section of YouTube. And he had a channel called CitizenTube. And he said that he was inviting me to be a part of something called the CNN YouTube Democratic Debates. And I was to make these different sample videos, right? And so I made 3. One of them, I went to the Bank of America at the area just right next to the mailbox and the post office on Lake Park, and what was the Kentucky Fried Chicken and now is Starbucks and Grand Lake Theater itself. And I made a video about predatory lending. And then I made another video. I went over to the lake itself on the side where Harrison and Grand Avenue meet. And I had this idea of standing in front of the cathedral, which is then new, and in making something that I thought would be really provocative. And that's this video, which I'll play for you right now here. And there. Hi, I'm Zennie Abraham in Oakland, California. The cathedral behind me is the perfect backdrop for this question. This quarter reads, United States of America. And when I turn it over, you find that it reads, Liberty. In God we trust. What do those words mean to you? And that was the question. And so I submitted. So Steve said, hey, submit what you have. And I did. And I was under the impression they're going to fly me to Charlotte, North Carolina to be part of, well, the CNN YouTube Democratic debate, right? And that didn't happen. And so I watched the debate with great interest, hoping that my question would be at least picked. And considering that I had done so much work in, making the sample videos, and that my sample videos are featured for everyone else to see by YouTube, right? So I thought, well, hey, at least they could put one of my videos on or fly me out there. I was really upset about it. And so I watched with expectation, and it was going well. All these different types of videos are being aired and so on. But I didn't see mine. And it came perilously close to the end of this 2-hour program when just at about the 50-minute or so, 1 hour and 50 minutes into it, it happened. And this is what something was.
In our remaining few minutes, the questions turn to 2 subjects, God and guns. First question.
Hi, I'm Zennie Abraham in Oakland, California. The cathedral behind me is the perfect backdrop for this question. This quarter reads, United States of America. And when I turn it over, you find that it reads, Liberty. In God we trust. What do those words mean to you? Thank you.
Religion informs my values. My reason dictates outcomes. My religion taught me about abuse of power. That's why I moved to write the Violence Against Women Act. That's why I take the position I take under 4. It came about as a consequence of the reasoning that we were able to do it. Look, I don't think they're inconsistent. I don't find anything inconsistent about my deep religious beliefs and my ability to use reason. I think the coin's got it just right. I think I have it in perspective.
Here's a question from the other side of the coin.
And so that question, that answer right there changed my life, because 2 days after that aired, Wednesday, I got an email about the possibility of me flying to New York City to be on television, on CNN. It turned out that not one, not two, not three, but four different CNN producers were interested in my video. And so, and the subject around it. And I was absolutely floored. So I waited to find out how it was going to happen and how they were going to handle this and everything. And eventually we got the particulars together. And hey, lo and behold, it was a dream come true trip. I was going to be on the Paula Zahn show, but what turned out was that Paula Zahn had gotten sick and then eventually left and I believe resigned, and Roland Martin took over for her. So it became the CNN Roland Martin debates program as opposed to Paula Zahn. And so it really shifted in the weeks leading up to when I appeared that Friday night. But here's my video of taking that trip, all expenses paid by CNN, and to fly me there. It was just an incredible experience. And well, here's what happened. Here we go. Off to the Wild Blue Yonder or something like that. Pretty cute. Okay, try this. All right, thanks. Hey, thanks, Anna. This is your modeling job. Yeah. Thanks. Wow, nice room. Look at this. This is easy. Look at this guy. Yeah. Oh, okay. And the bathroom? Oh. Nice bathroom. Okay, so we're set. And I think I'm going to take a shot. today's the day. It's I think about 1:30, and I'm about to check out and get something to eat and read and prepare for being picked up at 6:30 to go to the CNN studios here in New York. All right, guys. See you
I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, wearing it around my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go. It won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, moving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my soul. I'll be hushed up in y'all, letting the joy unfold.
Hi, Zennie. How do you feel?
Nervous.
Nervous? You're nervous?
It's not like I'm not going to do a good job. Nervous. I'm anxious.
Because it's almost time.
Yeah, it's almost time.
And this is something that you never done on national television.
That's right. That's right. It's here. Hey, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Julie Roginski. How are you?
She's a political pundit, folks.
That's right. We just met.
That's right.
I'm very, very, very excited to get to be on the show together.
Say hi to your friends in the Bay Area.
Hi, everyone in the Bay Area. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Fernando. I love the Bay Area. If I weren't living in New York, I'd be living where you guys are.
The elevator's good. So, okay. His name is David Sleepy. Yeah. And this is where I met Rachel Maddow in that same office, thanks to Julie.
You know, if you can't replace your Nikes every
Hey, wave everybody, everybody. Hey. Wait. Hey. Wait, say that again?
Is this going up on your website?
Yes.
How's the hair in that
It's
case?
beautiful.
You wouldn't know that looking at him.
Wait, say that again? Wait. Oh, okay. You're right. You wouldn't look that. You mean this?
Yeah.
That part? Is that what you're talking
If only
about?
I was as low maintenance as you are in the coiffure department.
There are some people who would disagree with you, but anyway.
There are a lot of people who disagree with me about a lot of things. As long as it stays at just a peaceful disagreement, I'm okay with that.
I'm for that too. You got it. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. No WMDs here.
The only WMDs are on the
Yes, yeah, definitely.
I'm
Hey,
There's all YouTubers by your shots now. She's a spokesperson, so it was a mix of those two. And then we did the show.
Hey, Lucas, how was the experience? It was good. It was good. Yeah, definitely. How did you like it? I loved it, man. It was a blast. Definitely a blast. All right, you two. Hey, how was the experience?
fun, exciting. Glad it's over.
How about you?
Loved meeting you guys. You know, one of the points I wanted to make, which I didn't have a chance to, is that what you guys really showed as YouTube citizens is that leadership is not confined to presidential candidates.
Right.
Citizens are leaders too.
Yep.
So, you know, remember that as you sort of, you know, spread the message of getting involved digitally.
Definitely.
All right.
Well, so what?
Doesn't mean your fingers or your toes.
Okay.
I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, wearing it around my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go. It won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's.
so that was my first time on national television, and it was tremendous. But because of that, it wouldn't be my last. Now, you might be wondering how I looked on there, and I'll show you that, because that was also, very, very interesting. And what happened with that was that the well, how would I explain it? That actually led to, here's first of all, there's two versions of it. Let me see if I can find the other one that I was thinking of, but we're here, and I'll go over here while I'm getting it. The situation was that I thought I was going to get to speak, right? But it was a group of us, you'll see it set up. And as it turned out, the lady that was saying, hi, Mom, who had made this famous video where she had taken off her wig because she was bald, and she was battling breast cancer, and talking about the medical problems she was dealing with, and in terms from a healthcare perspective, or then the difficulties. And so, for reasons I understand, they focused on her, or Roland did, but I was literally thinking, gosh, am I just sort of here as a prop? Did I fly all this way just to be, a prop, right? That was what was going through my mind. So this is how it all turned out, as I was thinking what I just told you, because Roland would literally, he would look at me for a second, and then go to Robin, and then go to the others, and then go to Lucas. And I thought, oh, I'm beginning to feel like the African American prop, right? I'm serious. That's what it felt like. It was like, hey, I'm just here as color, window dressing, done by a black guy. It was Roland's black. And I said, no, I can't let it go down that way. I've got to say something. I've got to figure out some kind of way to address this. Okay. And so I did. And this is what happened. The result of it was this fun outcome.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.
You see,
If you can't replace your Nikes,
Hey, wave everybody,
now you saw this part, so I'm going to fast forward to where we were actually on television, and the introduction, because I stopped here with earshot, and here's what switches over.
WMDs are
Hey,
And here we go. Okay, so and here's the show.
Are you going to hire your friends to run key government divisions, or are you going to hire the best and the brightest?
I was accepted in my dream college, but I can't afford the $50,000 a year. How will you make college affordable?
Hi, my name is Kim. I'm 36 years old and hope to be a future breast cancer survivor from Long Island. What would you, as president, do to make low-cost or free preventative medicine available for everybody in this country?
Joining me now, the four people you just saw asking those YouTube questions. Kim Friedrich, a working mom who's battling breast cancer, Lucas Brown Eyes, an award-winning film student, Zennie Abraham, CEO of Sports Business Simulations, and Lori Harfinist, a TV producer from New York. Now, Kim, I got to start with you. You've got lots of attention worldwide as a result of your question.
Yes,
and a lot of people were shocked when you took your wig off. What led you to say, I need to do this to get this point across?
Actually, it was anger at Senator Edwards and his wife. The day that Mrs. Edwards, that they had that press conference that she had cancer again, I heard one thing out of it. In 48 hours, she went from thinking she had an unrelated problem to cancer to finding out that she might have cancer, to having tests, to having biopsy, to having treatment, all in 48 hours. I was home having recovering from my biopsy at the time, and what took me 4 months. That's what they did in 48 hours because I didn't have health insurance.
You know what? We got a lot of questions in this debate dealing with healthcare, and that's really personal to me because, like a lot of folks, in 2000, covered the Democratic National Convention. My appendix ruptured in the hospital 5 days, $70,000, and frankly, I ended up having to file for bankruptcy because the healthcare bills were absolutely phenomenal. Kim, you talked about the anger. Lucas, talk about that because a lot of folks were angry.
Yeah.
In the questions, they were really upset.
Well, that's because the people who feel like they're not.
I have to say, see how I was in the middle. I was between her and Lucas, and Roland literally looked by me. And so I'm thinking, okay, why am I here, right?
Being heard are angry. If you don't feel like you're being heard, you're going to be angry. And YouTube allowed them to speak. So naturally, you're going to get a lot of anger. Like my generation, I'm going to college. And a lot of my friends are angry because they can't afford to go to college. So they're going to a college that isn't their first choice. They're going to a community when they can't afford it. And they're angry about it, which prompted me to make my video.
His anger came out as humor. And I
gotcha. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Now, Laura, talk about that. This whole issue of this YouTube debate. Has it really advanced the political process? Do you think it really changed anything?
I think it did because I think it got people really thinking that they can actually make a difference for a change. I know myself, before I ever voted, I felt just completely apathetic because politics seems over here. Everyone seems the same. This forum really allowed people to, come into all the candidates were in the more natural vernacular. They lost the finger pointing a lot, which I really appreciated. Unfortunately, it's back right now. But I was really happy to see that it made it feel approachable. I think young people are going to start voting a lot more because they feel like, wow, you know what, I can actually make a difference.
And we saw a large spike in terms of the 1849 demo really watching now. Zennie, let's talk about this debate. It took place 4 days ago.
That's right.
People are still talking about it.
That's right.
I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting about the debate? It's not just that people are still talking about it, but it's the first time that we've had a television debate and an internet presentation of the debate inform the national conversation. For example, you know about the Senator Obama, Senator Clinton spat.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going on.
But something else, though, is that there have been 5 different videos that have presented different views that Senator Clinton has given on the same subject and accused her of flip-flopping. And so now it's starting to change the debate such that by next week, we're going to have a different conversation. And that's because of YouTube. And it's fascinating what's happening.
Now, so many folks are logging on and people are really talking about it. And that's what's important to me, the fact that we're getting people involved in this campaign, because I'm sick of all...
Okay, there was a little backstory here. And I have to say that. At the time, there was this Obama-Clinton war. And it was all but thermonuclear. And I was... I still am staunch Obama supporter. At that time, while President Obama was the front runner, the idea was that he was still new, to some interloper, definitely out of the box, too studious, intellectual, you name it. Throw out the adjectives, right? And yet, here he was coming from literally nowhere, catapulted to the American psyche thanks to the 2004 Democratic National Convention, where he gave that famous speech where he said there is no red America, there is no or black America or white America, there is the United States of America, and so on. And here we are now. You have some people that were fervently for Hillary Clinton because they wanted, understandably, the first woman president. We still have not had a female president in the United States. Really wild when you think about what's happening in the world. But there were a number of people who believe Obama was simply a better candidate for a whole host of reasons, and I was one of them. So what you heard was me trying to get in some commentary about Hillary Clinton that was critical. Note flip-flopping, and I eased it in. That was an outgrowth of that war that was going on, which continued into the convention and was played out on social media and video at that time, resulting in some really hilarious encounters, including some that I experienced. Let's continue.
The media, frankly, folks, my colleagues keep saying, "Oh, this is so long," everything like that. This is for the presidency, the commander in chief.
Right.
I mean, give me a break. We spend more time picking a car than we do picking a president.
That's
I
right.
think the country's really sick of the way that everything is. Everyone wants to feel proud of being an American again and our foreign policy and, rally behind the presidency. And this is our opportunity to do it. So we should
Yeah, but
definitely
people are
start
tired
now.
of the president just being an automaton too, just saying the same things over and over again, and it just seems like they don't even mean it anymore. I want to see the real people. I want to see what they really think and what they really believe.
You know what's interesting, and this has to be brought out, is that the next debate, the Republican debate, you're only going to see two of them. So I think the Republicans are afraid they didn't come to the NAACP convention.
But Kim, how do you feel about that? I mean, you have 10 Republican candidates. Only 2 have said, "Yeah, I'll be happy to show up." In fact, Mitt Romney even criticized the debate, saying, "Well, he didn't want to get asked a question about a snowman." I mean, as if your question was simply about what was a snowman, as if the other questions were considered to be meaningless. How does that make you feel?
I think it's funny. I think it's funny that a rival network that's a minion of the Republican Party, if you can beg that phrase, they accuse the Democrats of being scared because they wouldn't be on their channel, and it seems like the Republicans are running scared of people, actual, real people, and that's what we are.
Americans.
It speaks for itself.
Lori?
Absolutely. It speaks for itself, I mean, if you don't want to answer questions that real people are putting out there, it speaks volumes.
Because would that affect your decision to vote for a Republican candidate if they chose not to show up for the September 17th CNN YouTube debate?
Extremely, because YouTube, this whole debate got me into politics. I registered to vote because of this.
I mean, this is your first election. First
This
time
is
you
my
vote.
first time to vote. I just turned 18. Now,
That's right.
this has got so many of my friends to actually start watching the debates. Everyone's talking about it. And if the Republicans don't show up, that's going to be a big, what?
And you won't vote for them, right?
I won't. I'll be like, what are you so afraid of? Why are you afraid of hearing what we have to say?
I'll tell you what, I certainly appreciate the fact that all of you stepped out there, put your questions out there, and hopefully more people will get engaged because, again, this is the commander-in-chief, and there, frankly, is no more important decision that we can make than we choose the president of the United States. I thank all of you, Kim Friedrich, Lori Harfinis, Lucas Brown Eyes, Zennie Abraham. Thanks a lot.
I'm a brown eye.
Appreciate that. Folks,
I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf.
Like I said, you saw that part, and the rest was history. But that episode led to another appearance. So they flew me back into New York yet again for another CNN YouTube Democratic. Well, it wasn't CNN YouTube Democratic debates, but it was a discussion. They flew me in after John Edwards and President Obama. I'm not saying John Edwards, Barack Obama and President Obama, because by this time Barack was the Democratic nominee, had their debate. And so they flew me in to be part of this commentary. And so they launched the same process yet again. And that led to this was in this event. The difference was that we were, I think by this point, CNN had a smoother process. The first time between the CNN YouTube Democratic debates and getting all the videos, there were a number of people who were very upset that there wasn't a great communications process with CNN. CNN had interns, nothing against interns, but interns working feverishly around the clock, dealing with many different submitters of video, many people who thought, oh, I'm on the CNN YouTube Democratic debates. Yeah, that's me. I got a call from CNN or an email saying that I'm going to be on national television. And yet they weren't on national television. I was one of the few who was. And boy, they were upset. It wasn't like CNN contacted them and then turned around and said, hey, we didn't select you. We're sorry, but stay in touch. And here's this newsletter that we're writing about what happened. It wasn't anything organized like that. It was just the opposite. They would contact you, drop it into your lap that, hey, you're going to be on national television. And so you're wondering, okay, when does it happen? Are they flying me in? What do I wear? Are they going to provide the wardrobe? These are the kind of calls I was getting from other people who I had been on who had their videos rather selected to be played at the debate. There was a giant chain of us, and there was a CNN iReport. Remember, I was already on the iReport. CNN bought it and thus inherited me when they bought it. And a lot of our videos were on the iReport, and the iReport had a nice social media component where you could communicate with each other. So there was this, controversy about how CNN was handling the videos vloggers and not communicating with them clearly about what was happening. It was an unfortunate scene that I think played a great role in why CNN to this day hasn't done anything like the CNN YouTube Democratic debates on a frequent basis. They only did it 3 times. ABC tried it as well. But when you tell people, ordinary people, hey, I'm putting you on national television and I'm going to fly you up there, that changes their lives. And then they run out and telling their friends about it and everything else, and you're not following up or following through, and it makes them, well, very, very upset if you don't follow through, okay? And that's exactly what CNN was doing. They were making a number of people, no other way to put it, very upset, and trying to figure out who to call and threatening lawsuits and everything else. But this was my experience the second time around going on CNN. Slightly different from the first, just as every bit as enjoyable because I had my sea legs and that by then, right? And this is 2008.
It's Friday morning and I am off to New York. The driver is outside waiting for me. This is pretty cool. Check this out. There it is. All right, you ready? Me? Yeah. Thank you. All right. Oh, this side? Okay. Thanks, man. Service with a smile. Thanks. All right. Cool. All right. So we're in traffic on the way to the airport, and even the fellow that's kind enough to take me to the airport agrees that the bailout program is lousy because the Treasury Secretary has too much power.
Cool music, huh? I love the limos. Lincoln limos is nothing like it. No, CNN paid for all this.
I am obviously at the airport, and I just saw the breaking news that Senator McCain is going to actually participate in the debate. My question is he prepared? Because he spent so much time first ducking the idea of a debate, claiming he was going to suspend his campaign, he really didn't suspend his campaign, then getting this photo up regarding the bailout meetings yesterday, which proved to be disastrous, that it's difficult for me to imagine that he can emerge from this in any way, even if he shows up. The question is, okay, you're going to just show up and wing it? Are you? What are you going to do? Why are you here? I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't be there. It's great that he's there. Then we'll have a real debate, a discussion of the issues. But the way he handled the road to getting to the debate was absolutely clumsy. Terrible example of judgment. And he's, in my view, already made the case why he shouldn't be president of the United States. I just have to be honest. I'm really on the side of David Letterman here. He just hasn't handled this entire week well at all. But he's debating, and that's a great thing. So let's see what happens.
So what do you wanted to talk about?
Okay, so I would like to hear them talk about education in this country and how it's going to get better and improve the base of knowledge and ability in the country for the first time in 30 or 40 years. I want to hear about health care, and I want to hear about America's place in the world. We've become outlaws and arrogant cowboys, and I want to know how that's going to change.
Please. Hey, so what do you want to hear the candidates talk about?
I want to talk about that, about the jobs, but
McCain campaign still active.
all the jobs to the overseas, and that's not good for the American economy. The job should be in the U.S. so that we are sending our foreign money to the other country, but we have talent over here. Why we can't do that same job which we are getting from India or China like that?
Yeah.
Talk about tonight's debate if you're able to watch it.
Oh, I cannot watch it, but the economy, that's what I'm worried about right now, especially the past few weeks.
All right.
That's really scared me a little bit. The economy, yeah. What are they going to do for us?
Well, today is Saturday at about, I think, 2:30, and I'm at a place called Columbus, the shops at Columbus Circle, next to Time Warner Center, actually in Time Warner Center. It's a lovely place. Look at this. Wow. It's got this great atrium. It's really like fascinating place to be. It's quite nice architecture. Anyway, I'm gonna buy an umbrella because it's raining outside. Well, it's just drizzling.
Hi, hey everybody. Hey. There we go.
Yeah, I gotta get makeup first.
Alright, do it all one more.
Well, yeah, let's go out and get them.
Yeah,
I know.
okay. Get in.
Oh, you can so. Must like this way, is that like that?
Very nice.
Nice. And then we'll look over here.
Okay.
Okay, guys. 1, 2, 3.
The juice and how it would be effective in
Very nice.
Hey everyone, I'm Lulu Gonzalez, and I just wrapped this epic trip to Fort Myers. The islands, beaches, and
Dates are just as important, if not more so, than John McCain pretending to go to Washington and save this economy and leave Barack. Well, Barack, you can come along if you want, and if you don't, you look like a fool. But I tell you who looks like a fool is John McCain.
Wow, so shy. CNN reporters like Maggie are regular people sending us their views. They are sugarcoating what they think about the first presidential debate. Now, that's great. Political pundits are just fine, but you guys and gals are the voters, and your opinion is the one that really matters. 4 of our most opinionated reporters are with me now. Zennie Abraham is from Oakland, California. Maggie Dolly, who we just heard from a second ago, lives in South Dakota. Katie Brown is from Ohio. She's 18, and this is her first presidential election. So way to go, Katie. Also, Kevin Nagabar. I got it, Kevin? All right, he's from Katy, Texas. That's just outside of Houston, my hometown. And Maggie, now, you saw the debate.
Yes, I did.
Have you revised your full remark? How do you feel?
Well, I'm shocked because John McCain actually did not go to Washington and save the economy. Not only did he not go and save the economy, he didn't talk about what his big plan was to delay the debate. And it's shocking that he didn't talk about it.
Kevin, you agree?
Well, I believe that John McCain as well as Barack Obama are elected officials, and their job is to be senators. Their job isn't to be campaigners. And if we're having a problem like this, and to do what it is that they can do to help, basically.
But Kay, did you hear that in this debate, what they want to do? Or was sort of over the heads of many people, just sort of talking in broad ways?
Yeah, they didn't. It seemed like they beat around the bush. It was never like a direct answer. And for two men to be front and center and be there and to come up in front of America and not answer the question directly was really disappointing. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get an answer.
Now, Zennie, what about that answers? I mean, did you get what you wanted out of this debate, or are you still lacking?
I'm lacking for the most part. My concern was the relationship between our lousy economy and national security. And then not only that, our defense dollar, 50% of it goes overseas. I thought Senator Obama did a great job of mentioning China and our relationship with China, and that we borrow money from them, which leaves us vulnerable to their actions around the world. But I don't think that anyone in Congress fully understands that we're in serious economic trouble with our job loss and the industrialized countries that have jobs that used to be here.
I'm going to listen to Kevin's hour report, and folks, here's what Kevin wanted to hear out of last night's debate, and we'll see if he actually heard that.
There's a couple issues that really are important to me. One is national security, and the other is border protection. National security, the only candidate that's going to be able to fulfill a national security void would be John McCain.
All right, let me put on my Lou Dawes impression. Kevin, we didn't hear border protection. We didn't hear legal immigration.
We did not hear that, and I was a little disappointed on that because, as you know, in Texas, we do have a little bit of a immigration problem there. And I think there needs to be some sort of system, if it's a worker program or something, to at least we know who's coming in and out of our country. I think our economy needs to have the immigration workers. There's no doubt about that. But we need to be able to keep track of those.
Now, of course, Katie, immigration was on your list. So was war, nuclear weapons. I don't think you came away feeling too happy about last night.
Nope, I sure didn't. Neither of my subjects were touched on immigration and nuclear weapons. I mean, in North Korea, we have this nuclear lab that's now the seals are coming off. Right. We need to focus on that. That's really scary news. And I think somebody should have touched on that. It's really scary.
Zen, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, absolutely. The immigration issue is focused on, but Lou Dawes and others don't talk about the job loss. Don't you think that even the Republican senators should focus on jobs, because the Republicans don't have a plan for increasing jobs other than tax decreases?
Yeah, but I think both of them talk about a job, not just the Republican nominee, Obama as well. We didn't hear jobs come up.
No.
Actually, he did mention jobs.
Okay, Maggie?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear anything about it.
Yeah, it's economics. 101. John McCain wants to give some tax breaks to some of the companies. That's going to help them hire more workers. Okay, and that's going to be a good thing for companies. I mean, if you tax the companies, I guess they were saying something like we're one of the highest tax. In the world,
taxes on businesses.
Yeah, in the world. If you're able to ease that for some of the companies, okay, they're able to, they're able to hire more people. They're able, as far as oil, if you give them guys some breaks, then they'll be able to.
I think I got to get a straight jacket because Mag is about to go nuts over here.
I am
she's over here spoiling.
I'm ready to explode because. Okay, thank you. The thing is what these debates were about and what the American people really have to decide is who are they going to vote for. And last night, I think on the subject of national security, which of course ties in the economy and everything else, when Barack came out and offered to a while ago to sit down with leader of Iran, Ahmadinejad. And, you know, I'm good at that. But with diplomacy first, with certain boundaries set up, that's the man that I want. I want a man who's going to, my president, I want to make sure that he starts with diplomacy first, and that he's willing to do that, and that he's willing to sit down and look at this.
The problem is jobs, and there is this idea that defense and national security and the economy have nothing to do with each other, and they do.
Very much so.
We lost a major contract. Airbus got that contract. Our defense industry gave that to Airbus and not Boeing.
That's right.
We really put Boeing on the deathbed, all right? And we say that we want to spend more money for defense. Basically, we're taking that money, hiring a Chinese subcontractor, which then can use that to make weapons for Iran.
Right.
We want that.
And he wants to have a freeze, but not on defense.
Hey, bottom line, Kevin, you can't have a strong military, you can't have a strong economy as well, real quick.
Exactly. I just real quick touch on that thing again. We got to have preconditions.
Sure.
Well, we wouldn't. Right.
Got to have
We
it.
didn't say we wouldn't. I don't want to hear the lie.
All right, Katie, you got something to say? Go ahead real quick.
They covered it all.
They covered it all. They covered all, but Candace didn't. That's what you want to hear, I understand. Hey, folks, thanks all about our reporters, Zennie, Maggie, Katie, and Kevin. How was it?
It was great. It was fast. I'm glad it's over, but we had a great time, and I can't wait to come back and get paid for it.
I'll come back for free because I wanted so much more.
Yeah.
Hey, how'd you like it?
Oh my goodness, it was great. It was fantastic. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Hey everybody, I'm actually now at Kennedy Airport about to leave, and just want to say a special thanks to CNN, particularly Shira Sky, for booking me and all of her help, and of course the great host Roland Martin and producer Brittany and all the reporters that I was on the panel with, and all the new friends I made in New York City. As our governor would say, Governor Schwarzenegger, I'll be back.
Oh, hey, there he is. What's going on, man? Well, I'm back home, and hey, this time CNN got a drive for me with the same guy that picked me up. You know, see? He's the same guy. This is cool. Hey, thanks, Shira. It's really nice of you guys. All right, I'm heading home.
And that was that. And it was the start of more trips CNN had me on American Morning. I was in Denver. They saw one of my videos about having to get this hotel because the airport was basically shut down and ice conditions and everything. So when I came to Atlanta, I went in to be on CNN that morning, and that really started my career as a commentator on call on CNN nationally. And it didn't last like I thought it would. There were people on the CNN side who were paid, who started these rumblings about the organization using these free contributors like myself. They weren't paying me. They were flying me in, providing room and board, but not paying me. And yet others on there, this is really who were more professional journalist types who felt like they were going to be cut out. There was a lot of jealousy going on back door. And so they began to cut that off. I think that, coupled with how CNN hadn't really gotten down how to handle making these ordinary people celebrities, which is really the key of problem of all of it, slowly caused this march away. Then, of course, there was the advent of viewership moving from television to, well, this space, and people beginning to start their own shows and develop those shows to a point where their viewership numbers rivaled those of the television counterparts. And today you have a number that are actually better than their television counterparts. So, but it all started from blogging with YouTube and a number of people in broadcasting that saw the handwriting on the wall in terms of where we're headed with digital media, and we're trying to figure out how to integrate digital media with traditional broadcasts. And what came out of it were some really interesting results that still should be done. There still should be a CNN YouTube Democratic debate. There should be a CNN YouTube Republican debate where people can submit their questions. It's easier to handle that now with technology than it was back then. That should still be something done. There's a lot that can be gotten out of it. And now all they have to do is be more straightforward about who gets on television. There's far less of a need to fly anyone anywhere because now we have Zoom. And we have a lot of remote interactions and even remote work, right? But what I experienced is where it all really started. It was a heck of a lot of fun. I'll never forget it. And I made this video not to get views or anything, but just to mark these moments in keywords because I couldn't find the video that I wanted to see going back to that time. It didn't come up where I thought it should come up. This solves that problem, okay? I really encourage somebody out there to do a movie around this. How that movie would go, I don't quite know. But I do think it should be marked in time. There were a lot of interesting people, moments, encounters. Irshad Manji, for example, traditional media people that were involved in the transition to digital and handle it in their different ways. And there are a lot of stories out there to be told that would make, I think, a fascinating movie or Netflix series in some kind of way. All right. See you, everybody, and please subscribe to Zennie62 on YouTube, and I'll be back very soon talking about my usual subjects. But I had to make this one. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.